Guys.
What? Oh my god.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm Che Durena and we're back with some scary countdowns. What's the scariest room in the house? If we're not counting the pile of unmarked VHSs in your parents' closet, I would probably say the attic. Now, what's one of the scariest things you could find up there? Well, like a future version of yourself that's bald and fat and he's telling you you're about to make a grave mistake and can I also borrow $30? But besides that, I would probably say unknown messages from unknown people. Make sure you stick around to number 1 because it's freaky. Now, let's get into it. 10. A tombstone. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about literally the thing that has all your contact information on it after you die. It was labeled Judith, wife of Josiah Ambrose. She died August 7th, 1864. It's unknown why the grave marker was stashed away in someone's attic. Some of the comments suggest that because the gravestone was dated all the way back in 1864, that the body might be buried on the property. So the gravestone was removed because that's obviously not good for the market value. Other people are saying that it might be a prop. All this stuff kind of creeps me out. I don't know why you would want to be buried. Like, I want to get cremated and then I want to have my ashes spread over a Five Guys. I love Five Guys. Number 9. Do you see him? This one literally gave me chills. Let's say you have a nice vacation home, you go there a few times a year, you're Mr. Moneybags, life's good. That's until you go up to your attic and you find this. A pitch black Polaroid with scratches all over it. And the message, do you see him? Oh my god, this creeps me out. How did it get there? Was it placed there before you bought the place? Or did someone come in and leave it for you? I've broken it down to 2 possible scenarios. 1. The picture was taken by a child in an attempt to make a portrait of their sibling and their finger was over the lens and then they wrote this cute little message on it. Or 2. This is the beginning of a person's torment from a demonic presence. As time goes on, the image will slowly become clearer until it's the last horrifying thing they see before they die. It's the only 2 logical options. 8. A dead bird with a secret. All sorts of creepy animals and creepy crawlies can work their way into your home. It's happened to me. I used to live in a place with 4 guys. There was mice in the basement and raccoons in the ceiling. Paying rent really makes you respect your parents. But we never found anything as crazy as this. Genre posted on Imager back in 2014 a picture of a pigeon skeleton. Not particularly scary, but what is much freakier is what's attached to its leg. It has a little red case on it with a coded message. It's suspected to be a World War II secret code that no one has been able to crack. A historian by the name of Gord Young claimed to have solved it, but those claims turned out to be false. So really have no idea what this message says. It could be a deep, dark secret, or my Five Guys order. I love Five Guys. Number 7. A Ouija board. Have you ever wanted to talk to the dead? Or mess around with demonic forces? Are you tempted by the dark arts or intrigued by evil? No. Me neither. I want to watch MTV series and order food on Uber Eats and be told that I'm pretty. That's it. So if I found this in my attic, I would freak out. A couple found an antique wooden Ouija board in their home. They found it in pristine condition as if someone had been taking care of it. Their comments on the finding were, "We haven't disturbed the Ouija board." I would disturb it. I would throw it to the bottom of the ocean like the end of Jumanji. Number 6. Kennedy assassination newspaper. I mean, I can understand why someone would keep this. It was a very important moment in history. America was rattled by this. The president was shot from a grassy knoll. But let's go full conspiracy theory. What if the previous owners were the shooters? And they kept the clipping as a trophy, leaving it behind as a clue for some curious investigator to follow the trail. Probably not, but it would be super creepy to walk up in your attic and see a snapshot from one of the most horrific moments ever broadcasted. I would probably try to sell it on eBay. Number 5. Adolf Hitler's record collection. So this isn't much of a message as it is music, but I think we could all argue that there's some messages in songs. One of the most surprising things about this record collection is it contained Russian and Jewish musicians, which apparently Hitler considered subhuman. A strong rule should be if you're racist, you don't get to enjoy other people's culture. You stay in the corner while the rest of us eat pho and listen to K-pop. What really scares me about this isn't the music, but what he was doing while he played it. What occupied his hands right after he put the needle down on the record? Number 4. If you have a weak stomach, do not enter. This message was found in a Norwegian home by Reddit user MyNdig. How did they find it? Well, the story goes that they went up to their attic and found a door with a padlock on it. Neither of them had the key, so they got some bolt cutters to stamp it off. In the space, they found a lamp alarm, a map of Western Europe, a lonely doll shoe, and a note that said in Norwegian, if you have a weak stomach, do not enter. A super creepy room. Why would someone have something like this with a disturbing note? It turns out it was a World War II safe room. It could have potentially been used by Norwegian people to hide from Nazis and listen to BBC radio reports that weren't Nazi propaganda. The room was large enough to fit a whole family in it. Could you imagine how terrified you would be hiding from Nazis with your whole family? Number 3. A father's secret. This one we snagged off of the creepy subreddit, and it's a pretty wild story. Think back to when you were a teenager. You're at home, you're probably a little bored, so you start snooping around your house. You end up in the attic, and you find a chest full of letters. Seems pretty interesting, so you start flipping through them. And then you recognize the handwriting. It's your grandmother's, and all the letters are referencing being in jail, and all the letters are addressed to someone with the same name as your dad. This is exactly what happened to this Redditor. After making the frightening discovery, he took the evidence downstairs to his mom and asked her all about it. She took some prying, but then she confessed that his father had been imprisoned for murder. You think you know a guy, and then he's a murderer. After that, you would win all those arguments though. They're like, my dad could beat up your dad. Like, no, my dad could beat up your dad for sure. Number 2, creepy piggy bank. Kids are always doing the silliest things, like coloring on walls, talking to imaginary friends, decapitating their toys. I actually did this when I was a kid. I pulled the head off my Max Steel action figure and then I cried when I couldn't get it back on. I'm not sure if this kid felt the same remorse. This is off the website Boredom Therapy, and this image is haunting. It seems like some little girl got creative with her arts and crafts and glued the severed head of one of her dolls to the top of this jar. She then labeled the jar with what I assume is the doll's name, Holly. Either that, or a message to some girl named Holly that she's gonna cut off her head and stuff her body full of coins. This is super creepy. It's basically the villain from the original Toy Story if he was more financially responsible. Number 1. Blanche Monnier. Now this last one wasn't exactly a message found in an attic, but an anonymous letter led people straight to an attic. Blanche Monnier is a very unsettling case. The year is 1901 in France. Police receive an anonymous tip that someone is being held captive. When they went to investigate, they found Blanche Monnier. The now 52-year-old woman had been locked in her attic by her mother for 25 years. Blanche was almost a skeleton. She was malnourished. She hadn't seen sunlight the entire time she was held captive. Her mother was arrested and Blanche was transferred to a hospital. The saddest part about this is I feel no justice was served because Blanche's mother died 15 days after her arrest and there was no time for a trial to be held. There you have it. Top 10 scary messages found in attics. Feel free to leave a comment below asking what video you would like to see next, and always like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and until next time, I'll be sleeping with the lights on.